Two guys doing a podcast, and we are back with Friday Ricky DRED. Did I do that right? Did I get that out right?
Yeah, you have to add a few more B's.
I missed a few B's, eh? Friday Ricky DRED.
Put out these lists, my nigga. The list. So are you talking about talent or are you talking about popularity?
I never, ever mentioned talent. And the reason why is because that is based on, it's such a subjective type of thing to judge, you know what I'm saying? But my good might not be the 17-year-old's good, you know what I'm saying? So it would be hard pressed for me to be like, this is what the judgment should be based on what I think with my 40-something-year-old brain, when somebody who's like 19 might be like, are you crazy? Did you hear what this guy said? You know what I'm saying? So I never use, I think you're better than this guy, talent-wise. I just use what metrics that I can have that are like tangible and like straight on. Like, okay, do you get more engagement than this person? Do you have more music out than this person? You know what I'm saying? And then, you know, I will put in is your music good? But that's like literally like a small deciding factor when it comes to putting my list together. Listen, out of that list, let's say whether it's the top 30 list or the 15 that I put together, there's probably like 10 people on the list in total that I might like their music actually.
Okay, fair enough.
You know what I'm saying?
I get it. You're a media company. But if you had to name the top 5, I'll make it easy, I hope. Top 5 lyricists in Toronto. Who are they right now? Go ahead.
And listen, this ain't subjective. There's nothing subjective about this. This is just straight up, you got lyrics or you don't. So
thank you. Exactly.
None of that stuff with there's no 17-year-old on this one. It's just straight up talent.
Okay, so I'm going to make this easy for myself. Drake, Tory Lanez, 2 high-level lyricists, right? Who can go to the booth and spit. You know what I mean? Like go to a radio station and spit, Blackberry or no Blackberry. The man them can go there and spit for like 40 bars or whatever they need to do. All right, so those 2 right away. Okay, Socrates. Okay, that man's a lyricist. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I'm gonna add some new guys in there. Northside Benji. That man's a lyricist. Okay, different style, but he's a lyricist. And Ason Eastwood.
Yeah.
And I can change Ason Eastwood in like for Top Gunner.
So if you had to take that list and put it to today, modern day hip hop, who would you consider to be your top 5 lyricists in today's Toronto hip hop?
Okay. So I would also keep Ason Eastwood in that list then. Top Gun is going in that list. Biz Loc is going in that list. Avaya Mighty. And Pressa.
We are talking about lyrics, right? Like bars.
Pressa.
Yes, I am talking about lyrics.
Got it.
Pressa.
Got it.
Yes, Press Machine, aka Pressa Armani.
All right. Well, then that sounds to me like Toronto rappers need to step their game up. Pressa's making top 5.
Yeah, I got it.
Okay, I'll give you a reason. I'll give you a reason. Because a lot of people downplay the fact that Pressa actually can rap. Because, you know, they hear the voice, they hear the different types of different sauces that goes on with, you know, the styles of now music. But if you break down, because I'm doing a lot of breaking down of these guys' lyrics because I'm trying to give everybody a chance, right? When I'm listening to stuff, I'm not going to be the old head who's going to be like, I don't like the way this sounds. That means it can't be lyrical. But when you listen to the man's lyrics, he's telling you he's giving details of his life. You know what I'm saying? He uses metaphors and he uses flow patterns.
Yo,
that's what we always want, right?
But I want to talk to you about Chromazz. Okay. Now, Chromazz is I don't know what to call her. A person who you have had on your podcast, you've spoken about on your podcast many times. And listen, I'm going to give you guys the credit for giving her the title First Lady of Toronto.
Whoa.
Yep,
yeah, did
I'm going to
you
do
give
it.
her that crown? Are you owning
I'm
that?
going to do it. I'm going to do
She
it.
self-proclaimed herself that, yo.
That is very true, but I'm going to give you the credit because you pushed it. You pushed it. You can't deny it, man. Every time you said her name, First Lady of Toronto continues, right? So we were talking about breaking down an artist. You always said, there were a few times on your podcast, you said at the time she was the top female Toronto rapper for you guys. Break that down for me, how she became that for you guys.
Hold on, one second, Friday, 1 second.
Okay, obviously I'm not going by talent, okay? And this is the reason, and the reason why I kept on even pushing that angle is because of the fact that I want the other women who are out here who put out music once every 6 months, once every 8 months, to step their fucking game up. Because for whatever her talent level was, she had a high output of music. She had a super high social media presence. You know what I'm saying? Which takes work. You know what I mean? To get up and get in front of that phone and figure out what you're going to do today to get the people into your shit, to click onto the link into your bio. You know what I'm saying? She was able to. Or
you can just have like really big titties and a nice ass.
Fam, we're not going to act like some of these other women out here in the Toronto rap scene don't got nice titties and nice asses too.
Very true.
Very good point.
You know what I'm saying? It's not like Chromazz is the only hot chick that raps in Toronto. There's a lot of other baddies that rap in Toronto too, fam. You know what I'm saying? Beautiful black women.
But when you break down as far as giving somebody a title like that, in my mind, you can't give somebody that title without there being talent involved in that. Like, you can't just dub that, because people are going to look at that. And listen, there's a lot of people outside of our country that watch you guys' podcasts that don't know what goes on here on a daily basis. So when you guys are sitting there and you keep saying First Lady of Toronto, top female MC, they listen to her music and they say, oh, that's the quality of rap in Toronto. That's not a good look. You know what I'm saying? So when I see you guys say that, that was a moment for me when I was just like, I wish they would really stop promoting this girl, man. And the evidence of her talent was clear once she started losing her Instagram page, right?
Well, here's the thing when it comes to that, right? Like, you know, and I'll say again, she self-proclaimed herself the First Lady of Toronto, right? So maybe what we could have done is say self-proclaimed First Lady of Toronto every time you mention that title. But she did a lot of her own work to make her own popularity. You know what I'm saying? She went and got that Adam 22 interview like before any of the other Toronto rappers. We didn't like curate that in any type of way. You know what I'm saying? She's the one who's been moving around and connected with academics before we even had a chance to speak with academics ourselves. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of that is her own work ethic that she's putting into making herself popular. When she's that popular, and we're talking about people who are doing big things in the scene, by default, her name's going to have to come up because she's doing more than the other chicks at the time. You know what I'm saying? Maybe now she's had to fall back because of like Instagram issues and all that type of other shit, right? But I go back to, again, if the other women were putting in as much work as she does with the talent level, then they're going to run circles around her. Look at Havaya Mighty, super talented. She's got a great team. And they've been able to get her over on Sway in the Morning to Kill the Five Fingers of Death. She's a Polaris Award winner. She's a Juno nominee. You know what I'm saying? That's good work behind somebody who's super fucking talented. What's everybody else's excuse? I don't want to hear it's because I had kids. I don't want to hear it's because it's hard. It's harder for the women. Because, and I've told this to women in their DMs when they're asking me, Friday, fam, you guys got issues too as women, but these guys who are out there putting out music, they're out there going on drills, going OT, flipping packs, doing all that, and still finding time to go to the studio and make videos. So what the fuck's their excuse?
That's a good point. Shout out to International Women's Day.
Yeah, salute to the women, but like step your fucking game up, man.
No. Excellent point, man. I Honestly, I was like, explain this Friday, but then you get Herc. I can't promote this demon stuff. That was a quote. Another quote. I want to make more positive. I want to make a more positive impression on the city. Another quote. He's saying all these things as he's leaving the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
What would it take for you to stop promoting that?
Well, I'm part of the media. It's a double-edged sword.
This is tough. This is tough because he's a full-time YouTuber, right? Like you're full-time, right, Friday? That's all you do.
Mm-hmm.
So for you, you know, the views are something that is literally your paycheck at the end of the day, right? So this is really a question of integrity versus
money.
Where do you draw the line? That's pretty much what he's asking.
Yeah.
Well, it's good that you did mention that I am a full-time YouTuber or, you know, media person, because
that's important.
Besides, like, you know, having to put money in my own pocket or, you know, pay the overhead for the Visionary Art Center that I'm in right now, right? There's the team that needs to be paid, right? Now, I'm not saying that that's going to be that excuses like what people deem as promoting violence, right? But we're promoting what's going on in the hip hop scene. Unfortunately, a lot of the bullshit that goes on in the hip hop scene is beef, people going back and forth about different bullshit and stuff like that, right? When the hip hop scene changes, then the media in total, not just We Love Hip Hop, but the media in total will change, right? So for example, you know, and it goes even deeper. It's a social economic issue and all that type of stuff, where like if rappers had happier things to talk about, then you're not going to have rappers talking about spinning the fucking block and having to get out of poverty, because that's not the life that they're living, right? And then that's going to reflect in the music, and then also then it's in turn reflect in the media, right? So I'm just covering what's happening. We try to do a balance because we do cover, you know, and interview people who are not pushing that type of edge, right? However, what people click onto more,
right,
is the bullshit. You know what I'm saying? But we make sure that the catalog has both.
Yeah. And I don't mean to sound like a hypocrite, but I enjoy the bullshit.
We provide a balance, and also I need to understand the term of promoting it. Does this mean that like, oh, if so-and-so and so-and-so have beef, we're the first ones to let you guys know? We're the ones who are like keeping it hot and instigating it? Or are we, you know, one of the 12 media outlets who might have mentioned it, or we talk about it amongst ourselves on the podcast? I
think ego is an important factor. Men care about their ego. Our egos are fragile. So when we talk about hip hop podcasts, you guys are the biggest in Canada. You just are. So when the biggest hip hop podcast in Canada puts it out, other people see that and they want to retaliate accordingly. So imagine for a second, right? You're in front of a crowd of people and somebody pushes you. Depending on the kind of person you are, you might want to react in real time. Mm-hmm. So now your podcast has like 20,000 subscribers. So now you just got pushed in front of 20,000 people.
When we talk about things that are going on in the scene, and if there's like, if it's fuckery based, we're only talking about artists. There's a lot of banging out that goes on in Toronto every day. We ain't talking about Picky and Johnny who fucking had a shootout the other day at fucking in front of the Rabble. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Now, if they had a shootout and one of them are a notable rapper, not just a rapper who rapped 1-2 times, like a notable rapper, then they might come across your timeline with us talking about it on the podcast or something like that. But if you don't rap, I don't give a fuck what you're doing in the streets, fam.
A lot of these podcasts, you know, they'll say that they're are broadcasting these things because they want to bring awareness to the situation and let people know what's going on. That's kind of how they'll divert away from saying that they want to get the clout.
Listen, yeah. Friday, quote, Toronto rappers have always been follow fashion. We just went from copying New York rappers to Chicago drillers. We don't have to debate this.
I got another quote. I got another one.
Thanks, Adam.
Realization. ATL sounds like ATL. UK sounds like UK. Detroit hip hop sounds like Detroit. Toronto sounds like all of them.
Bruh, we're not gonna act like, man, then we're not fucking carbon copying American niggas for years. we gotta stop acting like this. That's not true, fam. There's some original guys, yes. There are some, but even us, all three of us on this panel as artists, we know that we've taken some American sauce before. Let's be real with ourselves, fam. This has been going on since the 90s, bro. So now, fast forward 2022, we got the guy who sounds like Young Thug, okay? We got the guys that are running all over these Detroit beats. That those guys in Detroit, like ESTG and 42, or not ESTG, but 42 Doug and all those other guys over there, they made that sound popular. Okay, when you hear that beat come in and that drum pattern, you know it's a Detroit sound. So why the fuck is Mr. Mandem jumping on the beat and fucking talking about ting and ting and ting? Bro, find your own shit to jump on, bro.
So it's kind of like
promote these songs.
This is what I have to promote, fam. It's not like, yo, this is the pool of what I'm choosing from, fam. In the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? I'm using my voice to make them work harder. Okay? Because if I say it and everybody gives a fuck so much about it, now when they go to the studio and there's a selection of beats, because I'm not only putting it on the rappers, it's a responsibility that the producers have to take as well. Okay? To create a sound doesn't only take the rapper, it takes the producer and the rapper in junction to be able to create a new sound. Example, like how 40 and Drake made a new sound at the time when they were creating their shit. You know what I'm saying? When you heard those beats come in, they sounded like those OVO sounding beats, and then people started mimicking their shit in the States. Nobody's copying our shit.
Are we headed in the right direction? Yes or no?
If you want my real honest opinion, fucking no.
I believe what this guy is trying to say, though, is what we need to do to change that is to stop promoting it and start promoting the artists who are willing to take the long route. There was a podcast that we did where I said, instead of everybody trying to be the quick little pumps and the little Zans, why don't we have more artists trying to be the Kendricks and the J. Coles and the Drakes, the people who take their time with their lyrics, the people who do that. And it's because people like us, we're to blame too, because we talk about these regular artists, but we only have 701 subscribers. So we understand the responsibility that's placed on us with that amount of people. You have 20,000 subscribers. Do you not see it as part of your responsibility as well to also go out and, instead of looking for those artists that will get you those views, because I know that's important to you, you're a full-time YouTuber, I get it. But don't you think it's also part of your responsibility to seek out those artists and promote just as heavy those artists who are showing us the right path?
I do think it's important, and we do it, right? We promote a lot of artists. For example, Charmaine, we interviewed her the other day over here at the studio. Great interview. She freestyled for us. She's got a great presence. She's signed, okay? This interview right now to this date is sitting at 600 and something views.
Right.
We're like a Talib twin who just came home from jail. He had a whole bunch of different controversy that was going on around him and blah, 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 blah. It's 30 something thousand. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And at the same time, there's an added responsibility that goes with the artists themselves, okay? Because there's a lot of great artists that are out here, really talented individuals who are trash at promotion. So then they don't put themselves on the radars of the different blogs and podcasts and different things unless you're actually digging for their music. You know what I'm saying? Where these other guys who are pushing the bullshit, and some people who are really talented, are great at promotion. So they're in your face. You're like, oh, look at them. Look what they're doing over there. Let's talk about them. You know what I'm saying? So there's a responsibility that goes into the artist as well to learn how to promote your amazing talent. You know what I'm saying? If it's really amazing talent, you're going to put your all into letting people know it. And once they hear it, they're going to share it because it's fucking good.
What it sounds like is it's not your responsibility to break an artist. That's what it sounds like to me.
No, it's not. It's not. It is to a degree, like we can break an artist who's ready to be broken, pause, you know what I'm saying? Because you can see the work ethic that they have going on. And, you know, if we put them on our platform and they only have, let's say, 2,000 followers, they're going to follow up with the work. But then there's these guys who are looking for handouts and they only have a few, they're not putting any work in. And then they think that after they do that interview or they get talked about in some kind of way, that now their shit's going to take off and they can continue to coast without putting in work.
Right. That's not how it goes.
That's not how it goes.
I feel like the situation that happened between you and Zaylink, if people understood what actually happened, if what she said was accurate, if what she said was accurate, you are a bad guy. You're not a good guy. I'm not saying that it is, but I want to take some quotes from her response. She said, all audio, so the full audio, all audio went to Friday for streaming and trailers, not segments. So then she continues to say she was to get the full episodes and the segments for her YouTube channel. She also says once the show got traction, he started to post the segments on We Love Hip Hop. That resulted in double dipping and getting her channel deactivated. That's not good because we only have 701 subscribers. and if our channel got deactivated, I would cry. She had over 15,000 and it got deactivated because of the mess that I just described. This was not covered. Please share.
Okay, so when it comes to the audio part, I feel like I had to kind of teach her what a podcast is. Okay? It wasn't, oh, I'm taking the audio for my platform or whatever. She was on the platform, right? So now she's part of the whole mix. So when we put out audios, she's going to be one of the audios that we put out weekly, right? We were putting out 3 podcasts a week at that time. Okay, so that covers the audio, right? And in the end of the day, when those audios go out, and let's say now advertisers start coming in and saying, we want to advertise women's products with the Zaylink podcast, then money would come into her.
Of course.
Right? Now, when it came to the video, we had an agreement where she can put the full episode on her channel, and I would be putting the clips on the We Love Hip Hop Network channel, and that was something that was agreed on from the beginning.
Is this a verbal or is there receipts provided?
Verbal.
Okay.
Okay. So we proceeded, and because, you know, there's a whole bunch of different logistics that she didn't learn yet, I uploaded myself the full episodes to her channel. Okay. You know, she gave me all the back end information and stuff for her YouTube channel and everything.
She did say that. Yep, she did say that.
Okay. And I uploaded the episode myself to her YouTube channel and put the clips on my channel. Okay. What started happening now is because the metadata was being read from both places, you know, she started getting copyrights on her channel because the clips were on the We Love Hip Hop channel. Right?
That makes sense.
Her channel was never deactivated because her channel never went out of existence. It's always been there. It's stayed there. What ended up happening is that she got demonetized again. Okay? I want to be very clear here. She was already demonetized before because of lewd content on her channel.
She did say that.
Right? Yeah. And I advised her when we first started doing business, if you want your channel to be monetized, you need to take out all of these videos with you sucking dildos and fucking doing all this kind of crazy shit, no matter how many views it has.
No, she said that
she
realized that some of her content would be demonetized, but she did it because she wanted to provide content, period. This is what she said. She knew that some of that old shit would basically, she couldn't monetize it because YouTube would never allow it. So she was aware of it. So she is saying, and I don't want to lose the point, right? I don't want to lose the point. The point is, well, her point anyways, is that there was an agreement made and the line was blurred by you. You were supposed to do this, which is post full audio on streaming only, not YouTube. And she was supposed to get the rest. But because the episodes got spicy, her words, not mine, you posted it on yours. And because of the double dipping, she got, I guess, deactivated. If we go on We Love Hip Hop right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
If we go on We Love Hip Hop right now, there's so many episodes. Could we find a full episode or segment of Zaylynx right now on your channel?
If you go on the We Love Hip Hop channel and you type in Zaylynx, Z-A-E Links,
this is a good guy.
You will find
this is
a whole playlist. Okay,
what?
I created a whole playlist. Right, it's not on the front page anymore because we have a bunch of playlists and there wasn't any more room for it. But it's a made playlist that you'll be able to find on our channel with all of the clips as well as full episodes. Because after she started getting copyrights, not when the show started getting hot, okay? Like by episode 3, we started noticing you're getting copyrights because the clips are on my channel and the fucking full episode is on your channel and our channel is sending you copyrights, okay? On top of the fact that her channel's not monetized.
But
right?
couldn't you stop those copyrights though?
She said that Friday said, don't worry about that because it's my channel. I could just stop it. But her channel still got demonetized / deactivated.
Didn't get deactivated, it got demonetized. So here's what I did, okay? I started putting the full episodes and the clips on the We Love Hip Hop channel, a monetized platform, okay? Where it already has an audience of, at the time, like maybe 17,000. Now, you're gonna get immediate payouts from the fact that more people are watching your stuff on a monetized channel, so that at least whatever little money that's coming in, I can now pay you rather than you just fucking podcasting for free.
For nothing.
Right, which makes complete sense on your end, but from her side, if we just to play devil's advocate here,
of course, that's all we're doing,
right?
That's all we're doing.
She's trying to build her page as well. She's trying to build her page up and build her following as well. And I believe that her gripe was that was impossible because literally the only content she was making, because it was taking up majority of her time, was the content that was being made for your page.
Right.
So once again, I go back to it. If she's getting all these copyright claims and you're the page sending the copyright claims, why not just say to YouTube at one point, YouTube, these two pages are affiliated, or this is a subsidiary, or whatever you want to call it, of our page. You don't have to make any more copyright claims on her page and allow her to continue posting without having to worry about that.
Now, when somebody else is using your content on YouTube, you receive copyright notices. Okay, you can go into the copyright section in the creator studio on YouTube. Okay, and they'll let you know if other people are using your content. I wasn't receiving any copyright. Hey, there's a copyright claim from the Alizae Vlogs channel. Would you like to dispute it and let them use it or not?
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So there's no way of saying, okay, let me communicate with YouTube. Can you take this down or can you take off the copyrights unless you receive a copyright claim? Right? And I've received multiple copyright claims from people who are using our content. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I, fill out the part that says you got 7 days to take it down, or we're sending you a strike, or allow it. You know what I'm saying? There's ways of doing it. So
pretty much what you're saying is you couldn't dispute the claims because the only way to dispute them is to receive them first.
Exactly.
So we're saying this is YouTube's fault.
I guess at that point, because if she's getting these claims and I'm not able to dispute them on my side, then there's no way of doing that. The only other solution is let's stop getting your channel slapped, put them over here, and at least you'll start being able to start getting some views and some notoriety and some money. Let's also examine the fact that she's looking to get some more elevation to her brand and her name. We're having a conversation about her. Did y'all give a fuck about her before she was on the network?
I did not.
No, me neither.
Right. Okay, so then I guess she accomplished some kind of mission then, right?
Yeah.
Because we're talking about her.
I did not. Our platform is very small, but I did not. I had no idea who she was. But
not until she was on your platform. That's true.
I do.
Well, you can send me a Christmas card saying thank you for fucking giving her some notoriety.
and taking even more time in your life. You know what I'm saying? Let's be real though. Let's be real. I got one more thing. Just a straight up yes or no. Did you really just take her off your page because you thought she wasn't talented enough?
Oh God, that's a hard.
Is that what she said?
I'm asking you. It's something that she has claimed.
Just a question.
I'll give you the blunt, honest truth. The show was fucking boring.
Oh my God.
There it is.
All right. By the time we got to episode 25, it started getting super boring. She wasn't engaging with the guest properly. There was the different times where I'm editing it, and while the guest is answering a question, she's texting on her phone. You're the fucking host, to the point where the guest is looking at the side of her head like, yo, are you listening to me? All right. So if it means that if that's what she felt, then she was degenerating as a host.
Okay.
Fair enough.
The scene away from Toronto hip hop and switch on to another topic, which is something that we spoke about on this podcast before, and that is Debbie Gang. Okay, so Debbie Gang, R.I.P., passed away last year. Well, a lot of people learned for the first time that she was actually, one, addicted to drugs, and two, that she was homeless. So a lot of criticism came to these people, for using her for a clout and not really helping her out in real life. What do you think about that?
I agree to a degree because, some of those fingers they try to point at us as, because she was on our platform a couple of times. A lot of people just used her for clicks on their page, right? Rather than trying to maybe interact with her and find out what's going on in her head. Also, I live downtown, right? So there's been a multitude of times that I'm walking downtown and I see Debbie, or I used to see Debbie on the street, you know what I mean? Hanging out with a bunch of different dudes or whatever, just part of the Young Street guys and the Young Street crew, you know what I'm saying? Most of those people are homeless, not just her. You know what I mean? There's a bunch of homeless downtown kids. So I would see her, and a lot of times I would avoid bumping into her where she can see me and we, have an interaction because cameras are out a lot of times. Those people are all chasing clout heavy. You know what I'm saying? So to avoid being a part of that and exacerbating that clout bomb, I go to the other side of the street.
Was there anything done for her on a off-camera level?
Besides me personally with the conversations behind the scenes, I know Guttzy and her have had multiple different interactions where he's been able to, do what he can behind the scenes to help her. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, there's only so much we can do with somebody that we don't know personally, right? We're meeting a lot of these people and interacting with them through the fact that we have a platform, right?
Right.
So, you can touch base with them after, they keep up with us, but there's only so much that we can keep up with what's going on in their life.
A lot of people owe me way more apologies. What does that mean?
That was more of a personal tweet, more than towards the scene.
Let's get introspective. What does that mean?
It's just more of behind the scenes doing what I do here. I've lost a lot of friendships, okay? And it's due to the fact that because of what I'm doing here, I become, in people's eyes when we're putting out public content, an entity rather than a human being. So when people are responding to something that they don't like from the platform, they're acting like it's still not a human being who's curating the content and putting it out. So it's like, look at this fuckery that these goofs over here are putting out and da-da-da-da-da. Bruh, I know you personally. You could just holler at me.
Right.
Right?
Right.
So that type of shit happens. And then there's also things behind the scenes where, like, you know, I have falling outs and whatever. But in the end of the day, everybody who still wants to fucking come back around or do whatever they want to be cool with when everything is good. But they never want to apologize to Friday. The people who know who it applies to will know who the fuck I'm talking about. I'll put it that way.
Fair enough.
It's tough because in a world full of haters, you know what I mean? It's some of the people who are usually closest to you are usually your biggest haters. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So
yes.
It's hard to be able to distinguish who really has your back and who's really just there for the ride.
Mm-hmm.
You've been in this game a long time. Has it become easier for you to tell who those people are?
Much easier. Like, I've had a lot of relationships that have had to be tested because of the choices that I make to be able to push this company forward. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of times that people may think, yo, Friday's crazy. Why the fuck did he do this? Why is he interviewing this person? Not understanding that in my mind, right, the method to my madness is all for the greater good, okay? For example, somebody like a Sagittarius Shawty. People have asked, why the fuck are you interviewing this girl? Why are you putting this bitch on your platform? What does she have to do with hip hop? Okay? All valid questions. But she created a lot of fucking traction for our network, okay? And has a very interesting story and a very nice person, you know what I'm saying? But she created a lot of traction for our network, brought in a lot of subscribers, a lot of interest, a lot of women got put onto our network for the first time because of her interview. Now, in turn, put in whatever rapper in there, and now we do an interview with them, and you have this much more audience members ready to fucking take in your interview.
They get the benefit.
You can send Saji a fucking Christmas card for that.
What if somebody does something in a result of your post?
So you're saying that my post, as well as, like, I guess Keepsakes and all the different posts we repost the Clubhouse.
Of course, you gotta bring them in.
Right?
Yes.
Is exacerbating the beef?
Yes.
So when these things do happen, right? And you see them happen on the news and you're saying to yourself, obviously, this is something that we want to bring awareness to. Is there ever a moment or anything that happens that you say, you know, I know this is going to get me the views that I need, but I can't post this? It's not something, and I don't mean in the cases where it's something that might affect you personally, like you could post it and it won't harm you guys at all, but you've seen it and you're like, you know what, this is, I don't think I want to post that.
There's a combination, because there's a lot of the stuff that goes on even in this scene with the rappers and stuff, like the beef shit and all that we don't talk about, right? There's a lot of crazy incidents that can get us mad views if we actually even just break the story, right? Like I'm talking about shootouts, court cases, all kind of wild shit that I get to know about behind the scenes, that if I ran to the fucking mic and talked about it, we'd get tens and hundreds of thousands of views. Oh, for real, that happened? But
what's the separation between, what's the division there? What makes you decide, okay, this gets a post versus that? Then if it's not based on views, like you're saying, it's not based on views.
I'll tell you exactly what it is. And or my method at least. We follow up the post. We rarely break anything.
Okay.
We've broken stuff before, but that could be dangerous. When it comes to this scene specifically, we're not in a big enough pool where we can break something and I can walk to my office safely.
Right.
So even if I know something first, I wait for somebody else to post it and then we react to it because we talk. You know, people can hear us talk. Right? So then we'll get together, we'll have a podcast, and we'll be like, yo, I seen this post on Six Sounds, or I seen this post on Keep Six Solid, and and we have a conversation about it, and then in turn, that conversation ends up on our page.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Or, you know what I'm saying, we catch the Clubhouse, and I might screen record it and then repost it on the page, something like that. But like, we rarely break something that is like, this is going to be a wild, crazy story. And I know a lot of shit that happens behind the scenes, fam.
So what
I get exclusive, I get paperwork. I have paperwork on rappers, fam.
So what you're saying, you know what? Don't say that, because you're going to prompt me to ask that question. But you know what? I will ask a question. Who is not a good lyricist? Not who's good at promoting social media, visuals, your standard of hip hop. Who is not a good rapper in Toronto right now?
That list is easy for me. That's an easy list for me.
I already know, but you're a big platform. So some people could think like, oh, Friday's posting because of relationships, whatever. Just put that to rest right now. Like, no, I post because of this reason. But if you want to know my actual opinion, this is what it is. Who is not good in your mind?
Just so with the, just so I don't like destroy any relationships.
You see the politics come into play. That's what I'm saying.
You got it.
Come on, man. I got 20,000 subscribers.
It's a business. It's a business. You can't blame the man for doing that.
Listen, viewing public, whatever Friday is about to say, you can take it with the greatest salt, but go ahead.
Okay. We all know that Chromazz has not been the best rapper.
Oh my gosh, no. I'm going to edit this out, but go ahead.
Right? However.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
She has room for improvement.
Oh my gosh.
I'm going to defend her.
Friday, you're the worst.
If you listen to the new track, Beyblade.
You're the worst? This is the last time that I'm interviewing you or even being. Friday, no. Friday, no. No. But all right.
No.
Beyblade. Drano.
Go ahead.
Okay, so we'll put her on that list. Okay, because obviously, it's been said over and over, and I've said it publicly. If she just improved these different things, people would be able to at least take in the music. They might not say, oh, she's good, but they'll be at least not trashing her. But I'm going to stop there.